What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. This is like 148. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Just watching some Thursday night football, and hopefully it goes in accordance with these parlays, so I could come up with some money tonight.
Hell yeah.
How's everything on your end?
Hey man, no complaints. Just got back from Washington State. Spent a couple days up there, up in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, same thing. Watching some Thursday night football. Still grieving my Arron Rodgers loss. 4 plays into the season. But other than that, we're hanging in there.
It's gonna be all right, man. You're gonna have Tom Brady come save y'all, man.
It would be like the irony of all ironies if he came and then ended up they win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
On the 1 year deal. And then
right.
And Arron Rodgers has to come back the next season and prove he can win one. So
I wonder if in some fantasy world if that ever happened, if Rodgers would just be like, nah, I'm not coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean either way, if that happened, he still gets a ring. So
yeah.
Still, some of the I'm not gonna lie, some of the memes that they were putting up after his downfall were kind of funny. So
yeah,
it's gonna be all right, man. I mean,
smart and rich.
I know, man.
It was like I just spent a day in with the surgeon. Got out, got to the hotel, ran right down to the restaurant. I was like one of the only people in there, sitting down. I got myself a nice beer, and 4 plays, and there was no sound obviously, but 4 plays in,
just like what?
Like watching it, I was like despondent. The waitress or the bartender came over, like, "When you want another beer?" And I was like, "No."
You were like, "What's that guy?"
I paid my tab, my 1 beer tab, and went back to my hotel room.
Well, he was all like SpongeBob.
Yeah, and it was it's West Coast time, so it was only 5:30. I was like, I've had enough for tonight.
Like, he's heading out.
I did stay up. I stayed up, watched the game. Obviously, exciting ending. The Jets defense is legit. I mean, They made they brought it on Josh Allen, forced him into 4 turnovers. Zach Wilson was Zach Wilson through. I would say it's not a great pick, but also had a couple nice throws. Had a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Brees Hall looks awesome. 10 for 127. He ran out of gas on that one long run. Otherwise, he had a 90-something yard touchdown run.
Mm-hmm.
But give him a few weeks, I think he'll be back to full health. And yeah, I mean, the skill players are good. It's all hinging on the quarterback, which we knew going in. And unfortunately, Rodgers going down 4 plays in, not completing a pass. Not the way you want to start your year, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't even know what to think of the team this year. My guess is, my gut's telling me probably like a 9-8, 10-7, maybe a fringe playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're constructed, without but it all depends. It all depends on Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah, or whoever they decide to bring in. I'm sure they're going to bring in another quarterback that's going to either take the spot or compete for the spot.
Yeah, I think they'll probably bring in I've already guessed someone like a Colt McCoy or something like that. I don't think they're going to make any big moves. I just, I don't think there's anything good enough out there right now for them to spend capital on or money on. I
mean, we'll see, man. You never know what quarterbacks free up come by trade deadline or something like that. So
that's something to watch.
Definitely. And then in the other games during the first week. I mean, since we were talking about New York teams, the Giants got smacked up by the Cowboys. Just horrible. I mean, I don't know. I guess I blame this on the quarterback. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just they couldn't get the ball out, couldn't run the ball, couldn't do anything on offense. Just kept turning it over. Cowboys defense is real, as you can see, with those 2 shutdown corners and that pass rush. It's going to be hard for a lot of teams to beat them. pretty much Dak, he didn't really have to do much. He just got to manage the game. His defense is going to do the rest. But I think it's going to be interesting to see when that defense does get in trouble and they play some teams with a better offensive line, how they fare. But ultimately, I mean, not much. There's not really much. I don't think the score would be that bad, but it just shows we still got some stuff to figure out on offense, man.
Yeah, it was ugly for sure. And I was talking to one of the guys I work with. Giants kind of like had a pretty good first drive. Like they moved the ball pretty well. They got it down. Obviously stalled in the red zone. But they're sitting there, get ready to go up 3-0. Next thing you know, it's 7-0 Dallas. So that kind of kills a lot of momentum. And then with that pick six, it was kind of it was off the hands, right? Was it off Saquon's hands?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are brutal. I mean, we saw it on Thursday night with Kadarius Toney. And then now you're down 17-0 almost immediately in
the first quarter.
And to be honest, Dallas's defense was all over Jones. I mean, from the get go. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, not the way you want to start the season. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we still got some offensive line issues we need to sort out. It's hard, man. I don't know how many offensive linemen we have to draft for us to figure it out, but somebody's got to get it together over there. I don't know if they go get a new offensive line coordinator or something, but we can't stop them running Fawcett, getting through that line. But
no,
it's just still some stuff to figure out. I mean, your boy Waller, he wasn't really 100%, but he still had the most reception yards. We figured he'd probably be the number one receiver as far as one of the Giants receivers, even though he's a tight end. Outside of that, we couldn't get Saquon going, and that's one of the key things we need going. So it's going to be an interesting long season, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the other games, I mean, we got the Bengals and the Browns. Oh, well, the Thursday night game before that, we had the Lions and the Chiefs. The Lions upset the Chiefs, man. I mean, Chiefs didn't have your boy Kelsey, but ultimately it wasn't really they just couldn't put up enough points, man. Receivers were dropping balls. Lions were in the game, man. They got a nice little team over there. So the defense is building offensively. They got some weapons. They're definitely gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think we kind of saw this, or maybe predicted a little bit coming into the season. They were going to be a fun team to watch, and they certainly delivered. Their defense looked a little better than I probably expected. And I don't know if it's just the Chiefs, not having the offensive weapons or a combination of the two, but yeah, they look fun. They got some dynamic players on that offense with Amra and I think Jamar Gibbs will be fun when they get him a little bit more involved in the offense. That's just going to take a little time. Dan Campbell said after the game he didn't want to release the hounds too early. So yeah,
like I said, man, the Chiefs, they're gonna have Jones coming back the next game and hopefully Kelsey. So
yeah,
they'll be fine. They'll be back on track. As far as the Lions, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them competing in that division. Between them, it looks like the Packers may be a team to mess with, but we'll see come game 2 or week 2 for the Packers. Then we had the Bengals and the Browns. Your boy Joe Burrow's rusty as hell. Only had like 82 passing yards. Killed me in fantasy. And then I had Jamar Chase on the other side. Still killed me in fantasy. They just couldn't get it going. But I mean, the Browns, they rushed them like 40% of the time, which is kind of crazy. But the Bengals got some stuff to figure out as well on the offensive line side. I mean, they've been trying to beef up the offensive line the past 3 years. This year, it seems like it might be the best, but we're gonna have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, I think the Bengals. I don't know. It's almost like Joe Burrow forgot to throw the ball in the rain, which is a little strange. But yeah, it wasn't great. I thought Deshaun Watson looked okay. I wouldn't say he looked awesome, but looked okay. Cleveland Browns defense obviously played pretty well. I'm not overly concerned about the Bengals quite yet. One game in the rain against for whatever reason they don't play well in Cleveland.
No, they don't.
I don't think Joe Burrow's ever won a game in Cleveland, actually.
Yeah, I know he has a terrible record there. I'm surprised they didn't run the ball more with that rain.
I thought they would too, because Mixon was getting some decent yards.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm hearing rumors they're not really too fond on him. So I mean, I hear they're possibly looking to cut bait. Yeah, after the season. But I mean, we'll wait and see though. And then the Browns didn't even play that good either. But
They played out. I mean, they had like what you would expect out of the Browns. I think Chubb had like 100 yards rushing or just under 100. I forget.
yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't like overwhelmingly
No,
like kind of like the Cowboys Giants game, despite Joe Burrow having like 82 yards. But it's week one. A lot of the starters they didn't really play.
yeah,
This is kind of like their preseason. So come week 2 and week 3, we're gonna get the full picture of how some of these teams look.
yeah. And this is kind of what I was talking about last week. How September football is pretty gross for the most part.
Oh yeah, and then we had the Texans and the Ravens. Wasn't too much here. I mean, the Texans are a young and upcoming team. They have some little highlights as far as the young quarterback. He wasn't too bad. On the Ravens side, I was kind of disappointed in the offense. They went out and got all those weapons for Lamar. He still didn't have a crazy game. I wonder if it was because the tight end was out, but I thought they would have I thought they would be a lot better offensively than they were that game, especially against the Texans. But like I said, maybe this is the reason because of the starters sitting so much during the preseason. Maybe week 2 and 3, we're going to see what happens.
Yep.
Then we had the Panthers and the Falcons. This is a good game just to see the rookies on both sides, as far as Bijan and your boy from Alabama. On the Atlanta side, I'm surprised that they ran the ball so much, despite them having those two young targets with London and
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. Yeah.
Honestly, I honestly think Desmond Ridder can't throw the ball. There's no excuse not to have thrown it some more with London and Pitts, and I don't know if they're going to throw it. I don't think Ridder's long for that team. If this is the way they're going to use him, I think you'll probably see Tyler Heineke sooner rather than later. Because I don't think that offense is actually probably pretty well built. They got some good receivers. They got 2 running backs in Algiers and Bijan looked great.
Yep.
He's big and fast. A lot faster than I thought he was.
Who Bijan or?
Yeah, Bijan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I could see Tyler Heineke coming in here in a couple games if they can't get any any action. I mean, that's why they got rid of Mariota, right? Like he couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. But the thing is, I mean, you don't really even see the targets. I figure like if you got a quarterback that can't really like sling it, you got to figure out some plays where you can get the ball quickly to some of the playmakers' hands where they can go out and bust and make some moves. But I mean, they like you said, they went out. They've been going out drafting a bunch of offensive players. They re-signed a bunch of free agents in defense. I mean, they really don't have a bad team besides that quarterback position. So but maybe they're looking into the future for one of these quarterbacks to come save them. So then we had the Colts versus the Jaguars. I mean, we got your boy Richardson, doing his thing. I mean, look, you look pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a nice year.
Yeah, I'm happy for the Colts. They finally got somebody at quarterback that can actually play the position. And then, I mean, they got weapons and Pittman. I'm interested to see what happens when JT comes back. And then, I mean, they're right in the game, man. And then, I mean, that's going to be the team they're going to have to beat to win the division.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I mean, they were just letting Calvin really was cooking over there. Had a bunch of catches early, got to over 100 yards. And then, they had the game in reach, man, but they just let some plays slip away. ETN broke one out, got a touchdown, pretty much over after that.
Yeah. I still think the Jaguars win this division.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Colts are going to be more of a factor than most people probably thought. I'm not convinced that Taylor even ever plays a snap with them again. I've heard some rumors that he might be traded before that.
Mm-hmm.
And next time you see him suited up, it might be in Miami.
Yeah,
we'll see. But I don't necessarily think that they have to have him either.
No, they definitely don't because they got a quarterback that can run the ball as well.
Exactly.
So it's going to give them some options to free up to help the run game and be able to do some things. But even if you went to Miami, that's too much firepower, man. I don't know, man.
Him and Tyreek and Waddle and I mean, the only reason that makes sense is I just don't trust Raheem Mostert
Mozart, yeah.
and Jeff Wilson. I mean, two actually really good running backs when they're healthy, but they're just never healthy.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to make them so much better because it's not really going to put them in shootouts. I mean, once they get up,
exactly,
they could just run the ball like crazy.
right.
And then, I mean, pretty much control the clock and chill. But, I mean, that's a lot of firepower, man.
It's a lot.
It's one of the benefits of having a rookie quarterback on his rookie deal. So then we had I mean, that was pretty much it for week 1. Outside of that, I mean, the Bucks, they did beat the Vikings, which was a little surprising. They said your boy Baker was calling out the defensive plays, figured them out somehow, supposedly. It was kind of funny being he wasn't doing that anywhere else. And then what was that? Hockenson just got a touchdown. That's what I needed. I mean, outside of that, I mean, Jordan Love looked pretty good, which was surprising because we didn't know how he was going to look. He didn't have much tape out, being how he sat behind Rodgers last year. And they don't have a bad team either. So a lot of these young teams are going to be dependent on the quarterback. And if these quarterbacks show up, they're going to be right in the mix.
Yep.
Then we're going to have, I mean, I don't know if we want to talk about fantasy football. I think we both took L's. I think Tom took an L too. It was a rough week 1, man.
Yeah, it was tough week 1. In my wisdom, when I woke up Sunday morning at 5 a.m., I forgot I was going through and changing my lineup a million times like I normally do, and in my head I took James Cook out because I didn't trust him against the Jets, and I put Ayuk in the flex, and I just didn't do it, so cost me the week.
Yeah, I don't think no matter who I moved in or out, man, I was done, pretty much done. But that slow start from Burrow and Chase, and
that's tough.
So, I mean, I figured
it is. We're on to week 2.
Yeah, I figured my first 4 weeks be rough. So after that, that's when the real fun starts. So then we got week 2 coming up. Some of the notable games. I mean, we got the Vikings and the Eagles playing now. Vikings are up 7. No, they missed a field goal. 6-3. I think that's going to be an interesting one as well, just to see if the Vikings can bounce back, and as well as the Eagles can continue their dominance in the NFC. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some turnovers here to start the game, but a lot of turnovers. A little bit of that sloppy September football, but I do like the Eagles in this game eventually. I think primetime Kirk Cousins will show up at some point.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see if the Eagles, as far as their offense, it looks like they're implementing some new things, and then the Vikings with those weapons they have, if they can maintain and outpace the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're gonna have on Sunday. We're gonna have the Bengals and the Ravens rivalry matchup. Should be another good one. Joe Burrow's been killing the Ravens. I think the last time they played, he had like 466 yards, something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they got Lamar coming back with these weapons. I think there's gonna be a nice little test for both teams.
Yeah, I think Zay Flowers looked good in week 1. Unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins went down with an Achilles injury as well. That hurts. He was primed to have a much better season. And yeah, I mean, Lamar, is Lamar. We'll see what he's got. I think it almost like he took it easy against the Texans. Like they didn't really want to blow him out of the water too bad. So early test this week. Again in the division for Cincinnati with the Ravens. The Ravens always a fun matchup though.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, man. Those rivalry games are always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have the Colts versus the Texans. Gonna see 2 young quarterbacks go at it. I think it's gonna be fun to watch as well. I'll pop in that just to see how these quarterbacks are doing with these teams. But ultimately, I think the Colts pull it out. I feel like they have more experience on both sides of the ball. So it's gonna be an interesting one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the Chiefs versus the Jaguars. I think it's going to be a good game as well. Just because the Chiefs and the Jaguars are like the little brother to the Chiefs, sure. As far as like the up and coming teams. But now that the Jaguars got Ridley, they got their number one weapon, and then now they got some other weapons as far as ETN. They got Zay Jones on the other side, so versus the Chiefs. So I feel like this could be a potential shootout, but that's if Kelsey comes back and the Chiefs figure out who's going to be that other, second and third receiver as far as the receiving core.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think this is turning into almost like it seems like a yearly battle against Jacksonville, KC. So yeah, like you said, you got Lawrence on one side, who's got Ridley and Zay Jones, and Etienne. Mahomes has maybe Kelsey, and after that,
Yeah.
it's a big question mark. Both teams pretty good offensive lines, pretty decent defenses. Chris Jones coming back from KC, he signed ending his holdout, which
Yeah.
predictably, after last week's game, that he'd be here this week. So yeah, we'll see. That should be a good one though this week.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Also because they meet in the playoffs sometimes, so it's going to be a kind of a revenge game. Then we have the Jets versus the Cowboys, the battle of the defenses. How you feeling about your team, man?
Not great. I I don't. So they're 9-point underdogs or 9.5-point underdogs. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think that Dallas is that good. I think that Dallas has the propensity to play good games once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that they can sustain it. Dak's proven to not be able to do that. So I think that the Jets defense can rattle him, and maybe they can get a defensive score or a special team score or something early on to kind of get them going, and then let Zach Wilson kind of manage the game, right? I mean, we got the running backs. You got the weapons with Lazard, Garrett Wilson and company. So let them do what they need to do, and let Wilson be more of a game manager.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to run the ball. So
yes.
Whoever establishes that run is going to pretty much be control of that game. This is going to allow the defense not to cheat when it comes to those passing plays. So definitely going to be an interesting one to watch as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Dolphins versus the Pats. I think that's going to be a worth watching game, especially for Pats fans. Just because the fact that Bill Belichick knows how to scheme up things, he's going to go out there and take away your number one option, which is going to be Tyreek Hill. So I don't expect Tyreek to be going off another 221 or 211, whatever it was.
I don't know though. He's always struggled with Hill, even when Hill was the only option on Kansas City. It's almost as if he's like, let Hill do what he's going to do, and we'll stop everybody else.
I don't know. Maybe he does that. But
we'll see.
The Patriots been good at getting to the quarterback as well. So
sure.
I'm sure once you put two on his ass a few times, not to say you want to concuss him, but maybe that'll shake him up a little bit. So
yeah. No, you definitely got to get pressure on him. Patriots can do that, and we'll see if he makes mistakes or how he handles that pressure.
Oh yeah, and then we're getting a double Monday night game. We're getting the Saints versus the Panthers and the Browns versus the Steelers. NFL's all here double dipping on got the football on two networks. I ain't gonna lie, man. I might pass on these games, man.
Well, you're not gonna watch Panthers Saints Monday night?
Nah, man. I might give it
Big down here, Rich. Big down here.
I might check. Like I said, I might check it out just to see what's going on because you got some guys on the Panthers. Mingo, young receiver on there, just see if he gets some more targets. See how their offense is running, and then as far as
you got Bryce Young too. I mean, see what he can do game 2.
Yeah,
feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, as I said, also just to see what's going on, man, with these teams. But ultimately, it just I don't think I'll be watching the full game. Maybe I might watch the Manning cast just because that's worthwhile. But other than that, that might be it.
Yeah, the Manning cast is hilarious. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, I love when they get the special guests on the show sometimes.
Yeah, they're great, great interviewers, and I feel like people open up to them a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's it for NFL. And then on to the NBA. I think we talked about Team USA losing, right? So Team USA lost to was it Germany? So they finished 4th. I think Germany ended up winning the whole thing. So your boy Dennis Schroeder out here, looking like an all-star. I guess because of that, LeBron and company are tired of seeing this happen. So they're banding together for the next Olympic Games, and they said they're gonna put in some work. So being their age, I don't think they're gonna be playing too much, but it's gonna be interesting to watch.
I feel like this happened. What was it? 2008.
Yeah.
When they had a poor showing at the FIBA, and they said, "Remember again."
Yep.
And then they dominated the Olympics after that. But then it's like what did you just forget about what you said 15 years ago? And now it's like, never again. We're not letting that happen again. The second time.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what other players come back. I mean, Steph said he'll play, but I mean, he's a shooter. He's going to just be out there shooting for fun, pretty much, while certain guys drive to the hole. So for him, it's not going to be much too taxing. I think more so LeBron will be there for the leadership. He'll probably start and finish the game, depending on how it's going. But encouraging those young players, kind of passing the torch. But as far as the other players, I'm looking forward to seeing who also joins up.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I mean, nothing else really NBA. I mean, NBA is cracking down on these players sitting. So I mean, get those fake injuries coming up. Get ready for them. People with a sprained knee, back, all that you can name it. So some of these players going to be sitting.
How are they gonna do this though?
I think they're just
really read the details.
Yeah, they're just finding teams more for players sitting.
What if the guy's really hurt? Is it like he needs a doctor's note? Is like getting back to school? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think if I think they're excusing certain I won't say illnesses or symptoms, so to say, as far as injuries that are acceptable for a player to sit. Other than, like, you can't just be like, oh, he needed a mental day or something like that. I don't know. Something along those lines where it's not really physical. I think they're pretty much not approving those when it comes to, like, on those back-to-back games. But we're going to have to wait and see how they finesse the system.
Well, they're just going to stagger it. They're just going to be like, oh, one guy can have tonight off, the next guy can have the next night off.
Yeah.
They'll still game the system.
Yep. So, I mean, either way, it's still going to be interesting to watch. See how it plays out.
For sure.
Well, let me see if Jalen got that touchdown.
He got it.
Oh yeah, I needed that too. Then on the MLB side, they're pretty much wrapping up the regular season, getting ready for the playoffs. Looks like the Orioles and Astros pretty much can get the first round bye on the AL side. Yep. Then we're gonna have the Twins and the Mariners, and then the Rays and the Rangers. So
yeah, that's what it looks like. On the wild card, right now, Orioles and Astros, Twins got the divisions pretty much. Orioles, Rays could get tight. The West is still tight. You got the Astros, Rangers, Mariners. So my guess is still that all three of those teams get in, and the AL East, the Blue Jays are on the outside looking in. But that can change. You saw Scherzer went down for Texas. He won't be pitching the rest of the year. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see where the Blue Jays kind of could hop in front of the Rangers there. But we'll see. We'll see. This is why they did this, right? To make it a little more entertaining down the stretch. And then on the National League side, it's tight on the bottom there. You got you got the Giants, Reds, Diamondbacks, Marlins all within half a game for that last spot. Yep. So that could get a little tight. Other than that, the division races are again pretty much over here. Cubs with an outside shot to catch the Brewers, but other than that, the Braves are running away with it, and the Dodgers are not far behind. The Braves Braves already clinched. They clinched the division. Yeah. So the Dodgers got to be close because they're 13.5 ahead too. So
yeah, so those are pretty much the matchups you're gonna get.
Yeah. On the other news is Red Sox GM Chaim Bloom was canned after 4 years. Not sure. I don't know what their plan was with him. They basically brought him in to trade Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts, I guess, or not sign Xander Bogaerts. I don't know. It's like they were like, hey, we're bringing this guy in. He's going to be our fall guy if things go poorly. And we're going to trade away some of our best players, not sign the other ones, and we're just going to have a middling franchise. And then when everything, everyone starts getting mad at us, we're just going to fire him. So I don't know. Apparently he's drafted well. That if you're gonna be a GM who drafts well, I think they need to give you some more time to put your team together. But it is what it is, I guess. I guess everyone needs a fall guy, right, Chris Carter?
I mean, that's what it is, man. I mean, that's what they kind of brought him in for the fall guy position. I mean, you getting paid for good money for 4 years, win or lose. So, right. I mean, unfortunately, hopefully this doesn't affect him too much in his next gig. But the Red Sox definitely need to rebuild that whole team, so to say.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens in New York. I wouldn't be surprised if this was Cashman's last year, and then they clean house and get rid of Boone and that and because they need something to change there too.
Mhm.
So that wouldn't surprise me.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting one to watch to see if or to see which team comes back quicker, whether it be the Red Sox or the Yankees. Those have been two.
I honestly I don't think either of them are that far away. There's just
Mhm.
some kind of glaring gaps in both their rosters.
Yeah, but which one fixes it first? So to say.
Yeah.
Because they've been two teams that have always been in the playoffs, since I can remember.
Mhm.
So and they have one of the biggest fan bases between both of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so because I've been on the road all week, I'm just gonna go with my favorite meal of the week. It was out of a food truck. It was fantastic. It was loaded fries. Right?
Okay.
But on top of the fries, it was fried chicken that was cut up, and it had a really flavorful garlic parmesan, a lot of parm, a lot of garlic, a lot of butter. It was topped with some green scallions and some buffalo sauce. And it was, I wasn't expecting much, but it was actually incredible. It was really good. Something you could easily recreate, but it was fantastic.
I mean, that sounds good, man. Those are always the best dishes. Those simple ones, where it's just not too overcomplicated, or just simple flavors that go well together.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good.
That sounds like one of this. There's like this chicken spot in New York. I used to order from sometimes, and you can get like it's like chicken, pretty much like chicken over fries, but they have like there's like an Asian zing one kind of, and then they put like you can get like with that sauce, and they put the scallions on there, or you can get like the plain fried chicken with the like an aioli sauce or a chipotle sauce, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then what you guys drink that down with?
All right, so for this, it was it's a brewery I was in Spokane. So a brewery in Spokane downtown called Whistle Punk Brewery.
Okay.
It's kind of the town had a little bit of I would say like a little bit of that like old school grungy type vibe to it. But like with like how they kind of do that on the outside, and then the inner establishment's a little bit nicer, cleaner, etc. Kind of just like an old warehouse feeling.
Okay.
So this brewery was just like that. It was a nice little brewery. It was a handful of people in there, and they looked like more of a, I would say, German style type that they specialized in. They had they had the Pilsners, the Vienna Lagers, the Helles. They had German Pilsner. They had a Schwarz beer and alt beer. Pretty much any German beer, any beer like that. I went with their Citra Chinook. So it's Chinook's a hop from that area out in the Pacific Northwest, and then Citra is obviously more of like a summery type of a hop. It gives you a lot of citrus flavor. I thought it was good. It wasn't great. It was good. They had a New England IPA there that I tried after that. They only had like a little sip of that was probably a little bit better. But this one I went for it because I like Citra. I usually like Chinook. Not sure how well they mesh together in retrospect, but it was definitely like a clean beer. There wasn't like anything bad aftertaste. None of that. It was a little tropical, not like a fully New England hazy IPA, but somewhere between that and a West Coast IPA. And yeah, I would say it was just good. I'd probably throw it around like a 7.0.
Oh, it's solid. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too shabby, man. It's like it's not bad, and it's not like amazing.
If there wasn't anything else that caught my eye, I'd have another one. I obviously want to try a couple different ones, but that was the one I went with first.
Yeah, at least you have like a little fallback one to go on in case the other ones aren't too good.
Exactly.
That sounds great though, man.
Yeah.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week for the BRRs, I mean, we checked out a bunch of stuff. Well, not really a bunch of stuff, but we have Invasion. Still watching that. So far, so good. We're getting to see a different version of the aliens now. So it's not what I thought it was going to be as far as we were stuck with those chummy aliens from last season. So, like I said, not second season is better than the first. Definitely something you can check out if you're into alien movies. Outside of that, we had Special Ops Lioness. They wrapped up their little eight episode first season. A little disappointed on how the first season ended. As far as like there really wasn't much like how to put it ending. It was kind of like I wouldn't say open ended. Like you could definitely tell like where they can go as far as the next season. But I was expecting a bigger bang, so to say, after what happened in the last episode. So like how they give you like that big bang in the last episode, and then like you see like the aftermath. I thought the aftermath would have been a lot more explosive, so to say. I'm just trying not to give away what happened, just in case you go back and see it. But definitely a show you can check out. 8 episodes, quick. They got a lot of star power in there, some good acting, a lot of character development. It's really good. This is probably one of their top 5 shows as far as Paramount goes. Between this and Mayor of Kingstown. I'm trying to think what else is on there. The Stallone show. This probably might be like the second or third best show they got Paramount Plus at. So it's pretty good though.
Yeah.
And then checked out Equalizer 3. I feel like these are like all these movies are like kind of like John Wickish. Where you got a guy who's a freaking ringer, what we call, and he's pretty much stomping people out as far as helping people out and killing people at the same time. But this one was I don't know, it was all right, man. I felt like it wasn't really much dialogue. This one was more killing. And then like they didn't really get into like how he ended up where he was, how he ended up as far as like it was just kind of like random, like some stuff happened, he ended up in the town, and then and now of course he's running into bad people where he's trying to stop him. But like I said, it was all right. It's a quick little action movie you can watch. Kind of like John Wickish, but not as much killing as John Wick had, and like compared to the John Wick 4. But overall, it's all right, man. Then checked out we had Top Boy season 5 actually that came back on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
Another good show. You could kind of tell how they were just kind of ending some of the character storylines. I mean, it was only 6 episodes, so they didn't really give us much as far as like a storyline. Everything was kind of quick, and then they left us on a huge cliffhanger on the end. But I mean, ultimately, I'm looking for. I mean, I don't think they'll do a spinoff, but I mean, they can definitely do a spinoff based on some of the characters that are still alive and are like remaining. But it's a good little ending to the series, so to say, as well. But I mean, I also felt like it was too quick, like because only there were 6 episodes. They could have gave us like 10. If they would have gave us another 4 episodes, they could have got into some other stuff rather than it just go. It's like bang bang, like stuff is constantly happening where there's no real background to it, but it is what it is.
No,
there's a lot of executive producers in there I didn't even know about that are executive producers. Adele's on there as executive producer. Maverick Carter, Drake. I know Drake was because he was the one that helped bring it back from after like that second season. But there's a lot of people on there, man. They got their hand in the pot.
Fingers in all the pies, Rich.
Yep. Then we got Winning Time, episode, I believe, 6 or 7. It's another great show as well, man. Oh, Jefferson bum.
I know. I'm fumble touchback. I watched I think I'm 2 episodes in now on that, and they really don't like Jerry West in that show. They made him out to be the biggest a-hole of all time.
But I mean, it gets better. He's still an a-hole, but he's like a likable one. As the season goes on, so
yeah, it's just to see kind of how it plays out. But yeah, so far it's a good show.
Yeah, it also kind of feels real. Like you kind of like the way they like showcase all the characters. It kind of feels like this was what this person might really be like. But I mean, ultimately, like I said, it's a good show. I'm hearing there's also not enough following of it that they might this might be the last season. So
Okay.
So hopefully, I mean, people pick it up and it gets renewed. We can get a lot more because maybe the winning time could be more than the Lakers. Then it turns into the Michael Jordan and
Sure.
who else, whoever else is after. So, and then I think that's pretty much it, man. I don't think I got anything else.
No, let me get some shows rolling here.
Yeah, man. I would say check out that the Special Ops, and then Top Boy, and then I'm trying to think what else. Might have been one other show I started or something, but I think it was more of a reality stuff. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.